After so many years, hounded by hatred and trapped by fear, I'm in a box. I've got no place to go. If I follow my mind, I know I'll slaughter my own. Help me, I'm the prisoner. Won't you hear my plea? I need somebody, yeah, to listen to me. I beg you, brothers and sisters, I'm counting on you, yeah.
Greetings, peace, and love. Once again, welcome to the NEPPC podcast. I'm brother Frank, and I'm with brother and former political prisoner
Abdul Haq Islam.
Today's episode, we recognize the sacrifices and commitments of former political prisoner Martin Luther King Jr. January 15th is his official birthday, and most of the times they recognize it as a nation that following Monday. So there's no school, and a number of municipalities are closed. And then in recognizing his birthday, it's very important that we recognize that he was a former political prisoner, that he made sacrifices. And in us understanding his position to stand for change as a liberation theologist, and that is one who understands that one's belief, one's faith is or must be synonymous with the stance for justice. And he demonstrated that very seriously as he sacrificed for the greater good. And his time in the Birmingham jail is very significant in his political contributions, because at this point, you're actually seeing what was going on in his mind. In his letter, he addressed the criticism for those who said that what he was doing was unwise. And he said that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I think that that's very important that we understand that, because as we look at our political prisoners suffer day after day, month after month, year after year, we have to ask ourselves, what's our position regarding justice? What's our position regarding those who have sacrificed for us? And that's why it's very important for us to look at what was done, to look at the examples of Martin Luther King. That's one of many who made that sacrifices. And our brother Ruchell McGee, who's doing over 59 years in prison. And we have a representative for the coalition to bring him home, who is going to be with us shortly and explain the work that they're doing and the importance for us to get into it, because we can't let our political prisoners die in prison. And anybody who knows us and knows our platform knows that we are committed to that. We spend time once a week doing our podcast, and then you can see me or my brother in the streets of Brooklyn doing other work. You'll see me in Queensbridge with the Transform America organization and what they're doing regarding mental health. And you see me out there, you'll see me in uniform. You'll see me dealing with the open letter that Sundiata Acoli had made for the community and addressing political prisoners. It's very important that this idea of us being involved in the struggle to free our political prisoners remains relevant. And any opportunity we get, we got to speak on it. So one of the things before I pass it off to my brother is saying that I want to get back to this letter that Martin Luther King had in this letter from Birmingham. He said that they had 4 steps. The 4 steps that they were involved with before they took action was collection of facts, negotiation, self-purification, and direct action. On the point of self-purification, where they were allowing their bodies to be sacrificed for them to let the world know about the injustice, I look at the political prisoner and look at the political prisoner going through that whole self-purification. In my interpretation, is like the political prisoner understood the consequences of their action and understood that they had to demonstrate what can possibly happen by their engaging in the struggle for liberation. So, Abdul Haq.
Yeah, of course, many of our viewers understand that our understanding of the purification process, as so-called radicals, does not include letting somebody beat us up and we don't fight back, But that aspect takes on meaning when we talk about being incarcerated, sacrificing years of our lives. You understand? Even risking, being killed. The state will kill you. You understand? To keep this injustice going. And Martin Luther King, took a mighty stand for the people. He was a very beloved, a good man. The state, had a love for Martin Luther King, which changed like the wind. You understand? When Martin Luther King made his statement about Vietnam, when Martin Luther King was talking about our youth being violent in the street, and someone asked him, well, what about Vietnam? And so Dr. King, said that about Vietnam. He started explaining about colonialism, imperialism, empire, millions of people being murdered in Vietnam, which is an armed robbery. It was armed robbery and mass murder, and Dr. King said that the U.S. was the greatest purveyor of violence in world history. And that sent the whole administration against the Johnson administration, against him. Journalists, teachers, the education, everybody, commentators on the radio, everybody turned against King. Excuse me. When he came with his class analysis of what was happening, in terms of imperialism, and the FBI threatened to destroy him, to discredit him, to make it so no one would follow him, So, this vicious nature of the state, became very, very apparent in their reaction to King, and that they really unleashed some psychopaths, and we can say that the psychopaths, out there, with their anti-King rhetoric, up until his death, on the balcony in the Lorraine Motel, in Memphis, when he was standing up for the trash workers, trying to get them equal pay, and this is an example, Pam Africa said that Jesus was a political prisoner. King was a political prisoner. And we have much justification in fighting back and standing up against justice. We've had a very, very unjust history in America. History, provides us with all types of justifications, all types of reasons, why we should stand up and stand against and strive and struggle with might and main against the system. We've had many examples of violence against our people. There is a wait a minute, excuse me. Get this here together. There is a site online that you can go up and see. Why is it that Tulsa is not the only massacre of Black people that you never were taught about? And you look at that site, you'll see there's many massacres. Rosewood, for example, where they burned down. Rosewood was a very prosperous and successful Black community in Florida, where on the instigation of a white woman, you understand, they murdered many Black people, you understand, and burned down every structure in Rosewood. East St. Louis, New York, there was race riots all over America. If you look up the site I just mentioned, which was why is it that Tulsa is not the only Black massacre that you never taught about, it will show you a map that shows scores and scores of violent acts against our people. Many of our people murdered. And in Rosewood, the police involved themselves in going in Black people's homes and stealing their belongings. And last year there was a record 1,100 killings by police in America.
Right.
So we're still catching hell. We're still catching hell.
We welcome our sister Alida Torre.
Right on, sister.
Peace and love, sister.
Peace and love, y'all. How y'all doing today?
Wow, we're doing great. Doing great. Thanks for committing yourself to coming on our show. We appreciate you, and let us know what we could do. Let us know what the people could do.
Sure thing. Yes, I want to just start out first of all by saying it's been 59 years that Shelton K. McGee has been in for a $10 marijuana charge. So let's start it off by the facts. We are in a place here in California, and I wanted to really just show you that this is nothing new for California. To be denied parole for the 13th time, that was in 2021 when he asked for parole again. It is because, again, California, which is making millions of dollars on a cannabis industry, right? But here is an 83-year-old man who had a $10 marijuana charge, and he is still incarcerated. So I am Alida Torre. I represent, I have the Incobra shirt here, but I also represent Got Reparations here in California, which talks about how do we bring every state for reparations. And for us, although our AB 3121 legislation is signed by the governor, does it include our political prisoners? Does it include those young folks in our communities like mine here in Richmond, California, which is Atkinson Village, Parchester Village, where unincorporated areas have purposely got young Black men like Rochelle when he was that age because of a marijuana charge. So I'm going to show you all this right quick. Hopefully you can see it. This is a chart. Can you see it okay? Or should I turn it? Let me see. I'll turn it.
Turn it the other way.
All right. This
Explain
is
it.
Chart. And this chart basically is the chart that we consider slavery by another name here in California, right? What it shows is that California incarceration rates by race, this is in 2010. This is through the Prison Policy Initiative. It calculates us, if you look at the line, 3,036, 4 times more than white folks, only 453 incarcerated. This is a number for 100,000 people. So 453 For white folks, Hispanic, 757, even Native Indigenous, 996, right? And look at the number, how it expands over and beyond all the rest. This is California. So when we're talking about here to have reparations, right? We're talking about first, and I'm going to quote Rochelle in his own words, I'm still fighting to get the truth to the real people who want growth in the human race. Truth is the right medicine, and we must fight to win. So we are hoping to get those of you to support, basically, again, an 83-year-old man who just asked for the 13th time. Here is how you can sign the petition. Go to www.freerochellemcgee.org. Again, $10 marijuana charge. And mind you, majority of the marijuana growers and sellers are not, like he was, a Black man. They're mostly white folks that are making money. And we're asking you to please sign this petition, but not just sign the petition, which is where we've been going wrong. We got to sign the petition. We got to roll up our sleeves. If you home all day because you're trying to take care of your health or what have you since COVID, make a donation to this group. Send us a letter. Contact Governor Newsom, 1303 10th Street, Suite 1173, Sacramento. And I did it. I called recently this week.
You repeat that address too.
Yes, here's the address, but the phone number is 916-445-2841. And when I called this week, they told me that they may not be able to contact me back. You tell them you want to have them call you back. For me, as paying taxes in California, I said, no. You can call me back. You can email me back. I want to make sure you all know that we are connecting. We also ask you to write to Rochelle McGee. He's at Rochelle McGee, CMF, A92051-T-123, P.O. Box 2000 in Vacaville, California, 95696. It's important that we, send a personal connection to inspire and to connect with them. I've been doing that with Mamiya, with Imam Jamil, since I was young in this movement. At 54, I'm glad to say the elders that reared me, right, told me this is what I need to do. Those in National Jericho movement, those with the Mamiya group, those with, the Zulu Nation, it's important that we not just sign a petition, but encourage them. And so now we can teach this to our young people. Our young people, they have their shirts, got reparations. And these youth go into the barbershops, beauty salons, soul food restaurants, HUD properties, and encampments where our people are here in California to make sure that people understand the political education, not from the TV, not you all, but the other media that doesn't tell our facts, but from us. And so that means boots on the ground, y'all. And we can't just be doing like nonprofits in this nonprofit industrial complex place that's happening for a lot of our social movements, which is they have an office on a main street, but yet they're not in our communities. We got to take back that narrative, teach these young people. There's no.
Oh, please excuse our technical difficulties right now, but we'll be back on. Thanks.
There we go. Yes. But that's the piece that we've got to do. And go, contact the district attorney. His name is George Gascon, 211 West Temple Street, Suite 1200, Los Angeles, 90012. A lot of my folks back in the day, right, have been targeted. A lot of folks listening have been targeted. You're isolated. Get your pen, get some stamps, and start writing then. This is a time where we don't get to just get nervous and scared. We got to move, and we've got to be actionary in the ways to support our people. We also, like I said, have reparations, AB 3121. And because the National Spirit of Mandela, first of all, which is supporting the People's Senate of our people that was just announced this week, please go to spiritofmandela.org. We are having a screening in New York
And please give us a second. Technical difficulties again. Sometimes the internet acts up.
I see us.
I think it's the enemy that does it.
But that's all right. Y'all go to actionnetwork.org and please sign the petition. We are grateful for you all having us today. And let's free Cinquay McGee. Again, a start off of a marijuana charge where everyone's making money now from marijuana. And he's our elder. He's 83, y'all. Compassionate release means at that age, he can't do no damage. But with a marijuana charge, why are we not demanding and going to the state capitol and saying got reparations now for our political prisoners? So free the land, and thank you for having
me. Free the land, sister. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time and energy. A very inspiring word. We have our work ahead of us. We got to commit ourselves to freeing our political prisoners in the spirit of fighting against injustice, in the spirit of the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., who gave his life to move people forward. We got to respect that. If we have any respect for people, for martyrs, and for our political prisoners, then we'll be doing the work. And that's why the NEPPC is out here today. It's out here doing the work because we understand the importance of speaking about our political prisoners and organizing the community. Walk around with a shirt, get a shirt done, and have a political prisoner picture on it. Have a brochure. You can download a pamphlet, download a leaflet, and post it somewhere so that people can start to talk about political prisoners. I know that when I have my poster for our podcast, I put it up in Queensbridge, and the respect has been shown. I've been out there last Thursday, and I seen it still there. I put up a zip tie to make sure that the open letter from Sundiata Cody to the community of Queensbridge remains up intact, and I salute the community for respecting that open letter. And I share that with our viewers to let you know that you have to be creative with this work, that there's always something that you can do, and you have to commit yourself to the work. So Abdul Haq Islam, regarding the legacy of Martin Luther King, his sacrifices, what should that mean to our viewers and people in general?
Well, I mean, we freedom-loving people, and we love justice, and in that, when we take a truthful look at history, it demands that we must be very, very hard on a system, the hypocrisy of a system which claims that it is about justice when we have so many examples of blatant injustices. You understand? Here's a brother been down 59 years, and in a slave camp, in a part of our identity as Black people is a very, very powerful energy against slavery and any type of injustice. Slavery is abhorrent, but this system loves it, so we have to really, really exert ourselves, exert a whole lot of energy, time, and effort, and like the sister said, we got the youth involved. Keep on inspiring the youth, you understand? They cannot stand it, you understand, when this message, this type of movement expands, to myriads and myriads and myriads of people and organizations, So keep on growing, be hard on the enemy. You understand? We understand people power. We got a whole lot of people, a whole lot of power in the people. History is full of examples of the people rising up. You understand? And making the system do what it tell it to do. You understand? So we demand freedom for Rochelle. You understand? Write him, contact him, get to know him. You understand? And we thank the sister, from the coalition of putting the information out there about our brother.
Yes.
Our people need to know our brother, need to know the brotherhood that our brother is sharing with us, you know, to need to know the love that our brother has for our people. You understand? Example in all these being in jail 60 years for the people. You understand?
Exactly.
Free Michelle, free them all.
Yes, man. So we have our work to do, and we have to be focused and make a commitment to doing that work. So the more we share, the more we continue to control our narrative, the more pressure we put on the state to release our political prisoners. Because as Sundiata said, and we say continuously, and you'll hear us say it again and again, the state don't free political prisoners, the people do. So we got to keep pushing. We got to make things happen. Any and everything that we received as a people to make life just a little bit more better came at the sacrifice of others, whether it's time, whether it's their time with their family. I guess time is the most important thing that people had committed to bringing about a certain change. It is beneficial to the collective. We have to respect that, and we have to understand that we have to show appreciation through practice, right? It's we have to do more than just say that we respect what was done for us, and not take any type of action. We have to say, okay, I'm going to do something to really demonstrate that I respect what was done for me. I'm going to do something for the next generation, because the next generation deserves to have a certain quality of life, and that quality of life has to be a certain way. We know what we deserve. We know we deserve the best of food, clothing, shelter, but we also understand, or at least we should understand, that that's not going to come without struggle. That those are people out there who have in their possession of those things that are rightfully ours. So we'll end this episode off right now because we have discussed everything that we needed to discuss, and we have other business to attend to get this out. So we ask for anybody who's sending, please please share with at least 10 people, and encourage those 10 people to share with others. Brother, closing remarks, man.
Yo, you said it all, my brother. You know,
so that's it, man. Free them all.
Free them all.
Free them all. Free them all. Free them all.